While growing up, I often watched the Evening World News report on television with my mother. The evening news is where I saw mostly men as U.S. ambassadors, speaking on international relations, foreign policies, and matters concerning our U.S. embassies and consulates abroad. I was mesmerized by their intellect and the high-powered job they held. I wanted to work for our American ambassadors one day. That day arrived. I had a short but impactful experience working alongside a U.S. ambassador during my first encounter, and it turned out to be incredibly fulfilling. I managed to think on my feet and complete an unexpected task, which made the whole experience even more memorable. One day, I was reassigned to work in another government building because another office secretary was on leave for 30 days. I was ecstatic about working at a different government agency. It would give me new work experience at a different government agency. With great surprise, I learned that my temporary employer had a meeting with the U.S. ambassador, and I was tasked to greet him. I received a call from another office secretary that the U.S. ambassador and his deputy chief of mission were walking to my office. I was sitting at my desk and ready. The U.S. ambassador walked through my office door, and I immediately stood up. I was taught that one should stand when an ambassador walks into a room. I greeted the U.S. ambassador with, "Good morning, Ambassador Doe. It is an honor to meet you, sir." The U.S. ambassador quickly looked at my nameplate and said, "Hello, Mia." I take my nameplate with me wherever I go when I back up another office secretary. I asked the U.S. ambassador if he would like some coffee or tea. He asked for coffee. I escorted him and the deputy chief of mission into my supervisor's office and closed the door. Later, I served the U.S. ambassador and others coffee. I used the extravagant cup and saucer set, which was used only for these types of dignitaries. When I asked the ambassador if he wanted coffee or tea, I was jokingly thinking to myself, "Sir, would you like coffee, tea, or me?" The U.S. ambassador was handsome. What made me feel even giddier over the U.S. ambassador was that he wore a pinstripe suit. You know, the old saying is that when a man wears a pinstripe suit, it exudes power and unshakable self-assurance. The office telephone rang. It was the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Mysterious Affairs office secretary calling. She needed to get an urgent action message to the ambassador. I typed up the message so I could not miss a word of it, and then I reiterated the message back to her with what she said. She endorsed my typed message to proceed. I rushed to tap on the closed office door where the meeting was being held and handed the ambassador the urgent action note. The U.S. ambassador said, "I don't have my eyeglasses with me. Please read me the message, Mia." In utter shock, my heart dropped out of my chest. I thought, thank goodness, I am wearing my fancy, thick designer Givenchy, black spectacles, and brought my notepad. I was also thinking, I am glad my academic advisor suggested that I take that public speaking class at Indiana University East, IUE, online program. I had to video record my public speaking events and send them back for a grade. I was going live to speak in public for a U.S. ambassador. What a fantastic feeling that was. The room went silent. You could have heard a pin drop. I delivered the urgent action message with perfect diction. I spoke clearly and slowly. Each word was spoken properly. I paused at every comma. I was nervous. I recited the urgent action message without a hiccup. The ambassador said, "Well done, Mia. Thanks. Let them know that I will contact them as soon as I have completed this meeting," and I scribbled his sensitive reply on my notepad and later shredded his message. I rushed out of the meeting to call back the office secretary to the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Mysterious Affairs, to quote the ambassador's reply verbatim. After the ambassador finished his meeting with my supervisor, he thanked me for delivering the urgent action message. Unbeknownst to me, this brief encounter with an ambassador was just the beginning, as I later found myself working with 3 ambassadors in Washington and another one overseas. You've been listening to Mia Z. Edwards. Stories. New stories arrive daily, except Saturdays and Sundays, my rest days. Until then, stay inspired.